Today, we have the privilege of chatting with both Barbara and Matthias from Moto Reloaded. They're actually the driving force behind a new motorcycle clothing distribution company, which rather excitingly will be coming to Canada at the early part of next year. So I've asked Barbara and Matthias to talk us through who they are, what they do, what plans they've got, and how this benefits the riding community across the Americas. Just give us a brief introduction as to who you are and what you do.
I'm the founder and CEO of Bad and Bold. It's an online retail store in Germany, based in Germany, for motorcycle clothing, but also motorcycle fashion.
What do you mean when you say both motorcycle clothing and motorcycle fashion?
Because when we started, we found that there is no protective clothing for motorcyclists that also looks good.
Yeah.
So either you are perfectly protected or you look good. And we
So in other
wanted to,
words, you look like a Power Ranger, right?
yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
which is
Or
fine, right?
like the guy from Michelin, you know?
Yeah, but you can't
Um,
exactly walk into the pub dressed like that.
yes, yes.
Okay.
And maybe you want to go to your office or to meet friends for lunch or something like this, and you don't want to look like,
Yeah.
yeah, like a Power Ranger. And you also don't want to put off five, six things because you have to wear this, the under jacket and the over jacket and the middle jacket and so on.
Okay.
And so we try to find fashion, protective fashion for motorcyclists, but
Okay.
with protection you can imagine.
And Matthias, what's your role within Moto Reloaded?
So I started to help her with online and marketing in the online shop at Bad and Bold. And then I started to found a distribution company in Europe. The intention was to help to identify and help Bad and Bold for the right brands. And now we're moving to Canada with all this experience.
What prompted you to get into it in the first place?
We started motorcycling on a Harley. We discovered all the Harley people have the same dresses, and we didn't want to look like them.
Yeah.
So that's why we tried to find some other gear which is not that bad quality and high priced and branded like whatever. And so because we think that a lot of other people also have the same problems.
How did you grow the business?
Many years of research and meeting people, talking to people, talking to suppliers, also to other motorcyclists,
Yeah.
to find out what the people want and what is possible to produce. Because I'm a tailor, I learned it 100 years ago. I know how to manufacture everything.
How did you get involved in that in the first place?
Um, I just wanted to work with fabrics, with materials, with yeah, of course, with the fabrics, to touch it and to feel it, the high quality, and to see how high quality is made. You
Okay.
have you have no idea what is in a jacket if it's very properly manufactured. That's also very important for the motorcycle gear, because it's not just putting some stuff here or there. You need it on the whole jacket, for example. Difficult to find someone who can produce this and make it good looking.
How did you go about selecting the sort of brands that you wanted to work with in order to build up the portfolio of products?
It was a lot of research work on the internet. Social media was a great help. But then our second step after contacting these brands, we visited them. So
Yeah.
we want to get to know who's the person behind the brand, how they produce, where they produce, and everything. Are they only a money-making organization, or there are real people with all this passion we have for motorcycling and the community and everything. So we made a lot of journeys. So we spent all our holidays around the world and making appointments, visiting. So if it was in the US, California, we were a lot. We visited
Yeah.
all the brands in all over Europe. So it was quite interesting, and we earned a lot of friendships from
Okay.
that. We
Okay.
were not a normal retailer. No retailer travels to California to checking if he is going to sell this brand or not. So, but we did, and that makes us special.
So with such a sort of a successful business that you've got going on in Germany, why did you make the decision to move to Canada?
Because my family, my father lives there since 25 years. So we have a strong connection to BC. And so we were looking at this market and we talked to our main brands we distribute, and they said, okay, you can have this market. You can have North America as a market. And we said,
Okay.
wow, would be a great opportunity.
What will you be doing um, with the existing operations that you have in Europe?
I will not work any longer for Bed and Bold because I want to concentrate on the new business in Canada with finding the perfect products and the perfect styles for the Canadian and North American market.
So what's your connection with Resurgence? Because I know that's one of the brands
Yeah.
that you're going to be distributing across the Americas.
We met him 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
I think it was one of the first
One of the first.
denim brand or denim riding pants we sold. So
He wanted to work with us,
Yeah.
and it was one of my best-selling brands. But then he stopped making new designs and so on, and so I had to stop to work with him.
Okay.
But we kept the connection, and 1 year, 2 years ago,
yeah.
we decided to help him to
Yeah,
start again.
to relaunch
Yeah.
relaunch brand, to relaunch the products. So he was still on the developing 10 years ago
Yeah.
for the products. So he still was selling old
Yeah.
stuff. We think there's so much innovation possibility, and they are so great people to develop fabrics, abrasion resistant fabrics. So we talked again to Resurgence Gear and said, okay, if we help you to develop and relaunch the brand, we have to do it at least for the main markets, Europe and North America.
Okay.
And so getting more and more, and then we said, okay, we can do that from Canada because that's the birthplace of the brand.
The other one that I thought was really, really interesting as part of your portfolio was a brand, frankly, I'd not heard of before, called North of Berlin, right? What's the connection there? How did you get involved with them? How did you select it? And why are you going to be introducing that as part of your portfolio?
It's simple to answer. The designer is a very good friend of us. When he decided to make his own collection, he came to Bad and Bold and said, Barbara, can you help me to distribute it in at least Germany or Europe? And I said, okay, if you make a very good looking and high quality, safe, perfectly protected jacket, pants, whatever,
Yeah.
with you, so whatever you want. That's how it started.
It was a little bit
Yeah.
a longer story.
Yeah.
You made it very short.
Yeah.
But we met Carsten, the designer, when he worked for BMW motorcycle as a clothing designer. And so we met on every event and on community rides, and so we got friends on these BMW events. And one day he comes to you and said, okay, now it's time to make my own brand.
That's what I said.
No arguing, please, children.
And there everything started.
Yeah.
And now we have a very trustworthy relationship.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, we are going to move to Canada to develop this market. And he said, oh, take my brand with you.
Yeah.
Of course we will, because we think the products are perfect
Yeah.
and high quality, and consumers like it and love it. And yeah.
What sort of timeline are we talking about where people can start to see, the resurgence brand north of Berlin and so on? When is that going to actually be available for people to buy?
So we want to start having the online shop ready by end of February.
Okay.
We will ship delivery duty paid, so with no additional costs for Canadian consumers from our European warehouse. End of April, we will ship from Canada.
What are your plans, beyond the initial setup? Where do you see the business going?
But of course, as we are very community driven, we also want to relocate our community experience. So we hosted, for example, the Moto Social, which is origin from Toronto. Hosted the Moto Social in Munich the past 4 years. So probably there will be a Moto Social on Vancouver Island, where are going to live. We are also hosting a motorcycle festival ride in the Bavarian Alps. Perhaps that would be an idea which Canadian people also like. Our slogan is where custom meets adventure, so we try to connect also these two styles, a custom work style and really adventure functional style on this festival.
I think the final question I have for you, how do people find out more about you?
Of course, on the motoreloaded.com website, we will announce every step and where they can buy. Every new retailer we acquire will be listed there. So motoreloaded.com is a good place to get informed.